Has everybody found a seat? Everybody's good?
No.
No? All right, well, just one. That's good enough. How's the volume? Can everybody kind of hear me or?
Turn your mic up. Louder.
What?
Hey! You sounded good, buddy.
Okay, so
Loud
far
and
so
clear.
good. All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, sisters, brothers. Benny, I almost forgot that one, so almost left us out, but put it in there at the last minute. Aunts, uncles, grandmothers, grandfathers, cousins, and friends. And welcome to Micah's Annie Hart's graduation ceremony of 2020. Mike's, now I'm sure this is about the millionth time you've heard something like this, but this has been a unique year, and this may or may not be how you imagined this going down. I don't know if we can confirm or deny that, but there's one thing, that's one of the first things I thought when I was starting to do the speech, and then I thought to myself, you know what? Knowing Mike's, it might be different than she expected, but it might be just perfect. Because I'll tell you one thing, those of you who know me know that I'm not much for social media, much like you, Mike's, although I really think you're stepping up your game. I'm not. But when I do check it, it would be quite often that I would see a post from you on something about how much you love Vancouver Island or Victoria or BC. No matter where you were in the world, there was always a post about how much you loved home. So if you think about it, today, looking on the water, on a beach, might be the perfect way to do this.
Woo!
Yeah. So, yeah, just being the most West Coast girl we know, right? Let's be honest. You represent, and you represent well. Okay, so I actually had a lot of fun doing some research for this speech. Those of you who know me know that I'm all about research. Most of it's food related, but occasionally I'll step it up and branch out. And so I thought, what better way to start doing some research than watch some, entertaining, graduation speeches, get inspired, So I started watching people like Will Ferrell and Stephen Colbert and Steve Jobs and many others. And I will tell you one thing, I don't know what that says about me. I think there's probably better people I could have picked for the most part, but that'll give you some insight into kind of the way I looked at it. And I tried to take as much inspiration from them while always putting my own twist on it, the Nate style, because that's all I know how to do. So there's a couple things that really stood out to me when I started doing the research and looking around. But the first thing was, most things are, follow your dream. Don't live anyone else's life, and don't worry if you don't have it all figured out, because you got time. It's all good. And I thought, man, I think that's the advice I would give to graduates. I mean, it sounds cheesy, but it works for a reason, I think. But then I got thinking again, Mike, and I said, there's only one problem with that. You're not normal that way. And I mean that in a good way. But, I can think from when you were young and you would be just in your beginning days of hockey and just saying, all right, Mom, I got my stuff in the car. We got to go in 5 minutes. If we're not going in 5 minutes, we're going to be late. We need to go now. And I said to myself, damn, she's a stone cold killer. And that's when I realized you weren't like the rest of us. We were stone cold killers in our own way, but nobody told Mom how it was going to be like you did. And you know what?
And got away with it.
Yeah, well, there's that, But we're not saying that did or didn't happen, did we, right? No, of course not. But yeah, I guess that's what, gets a girl the nickname the Jet, for sure, right? For sure. But so basically, and if we go forward, I remember thinking like, wow, like I'm pretty sure she can go as far as she wants. And this was, I don't know, you were 5, 6, 7 years old. And if we fast forward a little bit, you then started playing hockey, right? And it wasn't long until you were captaining your minor hockey team, and the coach was putting you out on the ice if you needed offense, he or she needed offense, or if they were trying to protect the lead. And you know, when you think about that, it's really important that you chased your dream. And there's one thing we can say that you always have. That's never something we had to push you to do. And even if we maybe in some ways, hence being late, again, which our family is not known for being on time all the time. I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn. If anyone wants to disagree, I think, that's fine. Probably right. But, once again, you always chased your dream. So, after captaining your team here, go Eagles, by the way. I know we have some former Eagles in the crowd, so we got to represent, But you then decided that, okay, I've gone as far as I can go here. I once again need to push myself. So you decide that a motorcycle is going to drive by. So you decide that you should go away to Okanagan Hockey Academy to further chase your dreams. And once again, you don't let anything stand in your way. So you go there, and not only do you succeed on the ice and once again lead your team as you always have, but you then manage to keep your grades up in a way that I personally will never understand, because as a person who was far away looking around, you were away so much traveling for hockey that I have no idea how you did it. But so you're doing that, and then not only is that not enough, but then you're like, oh, you know what, I think I'm gonna go and see if I can do the under 18 team. So yep, chasing your dream, not something you needed to be pushed to do, did you? So then you're like, okay, that went pretty well. All right, I've got another year of eligibility. Let's do this again. But you know what? This time, again, because of my leadership experience that I've gained over the years, I'm gonna, have the honor of being named captain for the second go around with the under 18 team. Again, once again, not having to be pushed to chase your dreams. Nobody had to tell you where you were going. So, after that, both amazing, and by the way, traveling around the globe to do so, which was also amazing. But after that, then you go and you say, well, what's next? Which I think actually should also be a theme, because it's never, this is enough. It's just, what's next? How can I improve? How can I be better? So after captaining the team in the under 18s, you come back and you say, well, all right, I'm going into my grade 12 year, where should I go after this? Well, it just so happens that hockey seems to be going pretty well for you. So you're able to just, have some options in terms of opportunities, and being lucky enough to have them to maybe go and play for the NCAA somewhere. So once again, chasing your dream is not something you need to be pushed to do. But where does one decide to go? There's so many programs, and I'm not even sure how many there were, but I think there were a few, and you had to then make your choice. Where do I want to go, and who do I want to be when I go there? So you had a choice from a lot of high-level national programs, and you decided on Cornell Big Red, because you realized that not only did you want to have an opportunity to achieve highly on the ice, but you wanted to have the opportunity to achieve highly off of the ice. So what you're going to do, oh, you know what? Okay, we'll do the hockey thing. And then, yeah, if I'm lucky enough to be offered, I'll go to the Ivy Leagues too. Let's give that a try. And, we'll also, move to upstate New York, because that sounds pretty cool. And it'll give people a place to visit, and it'll give me a totally new experience. So you then are kind of going through all of those things, and you're coach, actually, and again, one of the main reasons I believe, and I don't want to speak for you, but was your coach, Doug Dara. And I think there was a major connection there, and you saw that you were going to grow as a person, not only a hockey player. And if you look at it, Doug Dara's quote for you was, Micah is one of the best, or the best, two-way defenseman in the NCAA. She's always thinking, and she's always playing the game ahead. And not only that, but she's a great leader and a great ambassador for our team. But if you look at it, so in your second year, I believe, you got named co-captain. So that's pretty amazing. Once again, drawing on your leadership. And as a freshman, you took the advice from the leadership group at the time, but when your time came, you said, how can I make this team, my team, as well as my co-captain, but put my own spin on it. So just as when you're doing that, well, what else can I do? Maybe I'll go and be lucky enough to have the opportunity to centralize and train with the Olympic team in 2018 in Calgary. I mean, I guess I'll have to take a year off of school to do it, but that sounds like a pretty good deal. I'll just go take that off for a year and give it everything I have to do that. So, we know how that ended, and I think I speak for all of us here when it's not how we wanted it to end for you, but it made you stronger. And like everything else you've done, you handled it with grace and class, and nobody ever knew the difference. If you were mad, upset, happy, joyed, you just took it as a stride and a learning experience. So you come back from that, passionate as ever. You're like, all right, we're doing this. I got it. Okay, so you have 2 more years left. What are you gonna do? So in your junior year, you decide, okay, we're gonna make sure people know that we're gonna put this program once again on the map. So the season ended a little bit sooner than you wanted in the playoffs, but you definitely served notice that you were to be reckoned with. And then, all right, so things are going well. What's next? All right, senior year, let's do this. All right, what's the way that we could do it? Well, let's have a fantastic season. I've got some new teammates over the last, couple of years, and we're a team on the rise. All right, let's be ranked #1 in the nation. Let's do that. Let's see how that feels. I don't know, Mike, that's a question only for you, but I'd imagine it's got to feel pretty good, right? So, yeah, give her a hand for that, for sure. So, then 2020 happens. And like I said before, this year's been one for the history books. It'll be talked about for a long time. And just as you're about to go to the Frozen Four, well, things got cut short a little bit. A little bit frustrating, I would imagine. Never from seeing it from you, though. Not once. And again, just like other things in your life, you handle it with grace and class, and you say, you know what, this is the way it is, and we're going to do what we're going to do. So, pretty amazing accomplishments. So, I've got a list here, and Mike, I try not to do this that often, because honestly, if people get me talking about you, I don't usually stop. So I try not to talk too much. But okay. Okay, maybe I do talk a lot, okay? But sometimes it's not always about you, because I know if I did, I would never stop. Okay? So, all right. Your stats are pretty unreal. And if I can... It was going so well, Mike. It was going so well. There we are. Okay. There we go. Okay. You guys ready? Get ready for some stats? All right. Okay. 125 games played at a career at Cornell. 17 goals, 70 assists, that's 87 points. I'd like to say and take credit for the math, but it was already there. I can't take credit. Can't take credit. Plus 50 on the plus minus. ECAC All Rookie Team, All Ivy League Honorable Mention, All ECAC Hockey First Team, All Ivy League First Team, All USCHO Third Team, All ECAC Hockey Third Team, All Ivy League Second Team, 2017, 2019, and 2020, All Tournament ECAC Hockey, and the 2020 Patty Kazmaier nominee. Okay, that's a pretty good way to cap it off. Can we give her a hand? That's pretty crazy. And that's actually just your Cornell stuff. You happen to be doing other things while you were at Cornell. Or actually you weren't at Cornell, but you were traveling. But if we go on the Hockey Canada side, 2019-2020 World Championship Team, Fall Festival 2014, 2015, 2018, and 2019, 2019-2020 Rivalry Series. Some of us may remember that happening in Victoria here, right? It was pretty amazing to see. And I know we were reading an article just today and it said there was jerseys all around the stadium with Sandy Hart on the back. And that was a pretty cool moment to see. All right. Four Nations Cup 2017, 2018. The Nations Cup 2016, 2017. National Women's Team versus USA 2017 and 2019. National Women's Development Team Series versus the USA 2015 and 2018. Can I get a hand for her again? Just one more time. That's nuts. I don't know how you do it. I'm pretty tired just saying it, so I can't imagine playing it. Might as well just, hook me up to oxygen, something, I don't know. Okay, but you did all this while balancing your academic studies. And the other thing I saw when I was doing my research for this was that a lot of things that, and again this resonated with me, was it's about service. So it's not just about getting what you want out of your education, but it's how do I give back to people. And I thought, you know what, that's the other piece that if I was going to talk to any graduate I would want to say. But once again, Mikes, you're just not that normal. Again, in the best way possible, but you've always given yourself to others, and that's something that you should be commended for. You had one of your teammates, Finley Frechette, said that you're hands down one of the best people she ever knew. You were the best, This quote goes on for a while, so I'm just saying, but like basically one of the best persons she met, and that you had a way of, in the room, you had a way of getting people to want to learn and want to be better when talking to them. And she said, I'm most proud of her being my teammate, but also a forever friend. And I thought, man, that's really all you can ask for from a friend and a teammate. But for, I think a fair amount of us have played sports, and we also know that our teammates keep us humble, don't they? You had another teammate, Jamie Bourbonnais. She was with you a lot for a lot of the different things. And she is one who said that she can sing better than you. And I don't think that's true. Does anybody else here agree with that? I don't think so. No. And you told her so, didn't you?
I did.
Okay, Mom did too. But Micah, you said, you know what? I could rock some Adele. And she said, whoa. And you're like, well, okay, but you know, she was talking all this Lady Gaga garbage too. That wasn't going to happen. So you just said you haven't shown it yet. And chances are you're probably right. She was also the one that said your hockey equipment smelled worse than hers. And I think it's fair to say that obviously your hockey equipment has to smell like roses, right? That's the only option here. That's the only option. So I don't want to call Jamie a liar, but I don't know, I just don't believe it. So those are kind of the two main things that I kind of wanted to talk to you about. Whether it's, giving back to younger hockey players. Again, we read an article today, and that you're starting to work with the Women's Girls Hockey Association, which is newly formed here. And you've done all sorts of things for Hockey BC and in your role with Hockey Canada, and set up all sorts of things when you were at OHA and Cornell, in terms of making sure that your team gave back to the community that had given so much to you. So again, thinking to myself, oh, I'd like to give her advice to do that. But you know what? I don't think I can. And I just want you to take a second here, Mike, and look around, because as weird as the ceremony is, and I know I don't have to tell you this, but these are the people that shaped who you are. And I don't want you guys to get all cocky, all right? Stay humble. Stay humble. She's great, and you played a role, but she couldn't do it without herself. So, so basically, all I'm saying is, for somebody that we give the advice that you need to give back. That's something that you did without even thinking about it. So that's probably, I think, and again, I'm going to speak for me, but I fully expect, and no pressure, guys, but I think that for me is personally what I'm most proud of, is the Micah off the ice as much as I am. Though you just heard the list I read of all the stuff you've done on the ice, and to me that's super impressive, but it doesn't hold a candle to the stuff that you've done off the ice. So, all right, I don't actually know how long I've been talking, but I'm gonna wrap it up for everyone's sake, for the other Nate, and that sort of thing. But basically, it comes down to this. I started this with a bit of writer's block, and I said to myself, man, like, okay, how am I gonna start telling this person who's done all these amazing things, and who I know I care about, and we all care about so much, about all the stuff she's done. And as per usual, if I learned one thing, you just start writing, and the story will write itself. Well, basically, Mike, the story I just told is the story you wrote. I'm just telling it, hopefully in my own way, and hopefully I didn't mess up too many things, although I'm sure I did. But if you actually think about it, you wrote this, and we're just saying all the things that you've accomplished. So all the advice that I could give you, it really comes down to one thing. Just be yourself. That sounds so cheesy, and I never thought I would end the speech that way, but after going through and thinking about and writing about all the stuff you've done, I don't think we could ask for a better person than the person who is just herself and has accomplished every goal she set her mind to. So, lastly, I would just like to talk about the future a bit, and I don't know exactly what you'll accomplish. I know it'll be amazing, and I know it'll be whatever you want, but there was one thing, I remember like first or second year at Cornell, and you said, Nate, you know what? This is like the NHL for us, and this has been a conversation we've had a couple times. And you said, this is the best hockey I may ever play. Like, we don't think about that, but this might be the best. And you know what? It's overdue, but I hope that sooner rather than later, there's a professional hockey league that is worthy of your talents and your abilities, and it gives you all the things that a professional athlete deserves. And a fellow Cornellian, Mr. Gary Bettman, love him or hate him, he brought my Jets back, so I hated him, then I loved him. It's been a rocky road. But basically, hopefully sooner rather than later, there's a professional league for you to play in if that's where you want to play. And whenever the next chapter is, whenever you go off the ice, whether you're still involved with the ice or not, I think I speak for all of us when I say we know you'll accomplish great things. So, with that in mind, can we just give Micah a hand, and I'd like to call... I'd like to call the other Nate of the all-name team to come up here and present you with your diploma.
Should I do like a selfie with you?
Oh, yeah, Steph.
Well, we should get some other pictures with people standing beside you.
Oh, should I do it or okay?
You want me to say something?
Yeah.
Well, I would like to say, first, thanks to Nate. I wouldn't have wanted any other commencement speaker. Secondly, I think, just like Nate said, I'm the person I am because of everyone that's here, and I say that to everyone that I come across in my life, whether it's my friends that are here, or my sister's friends, or my brother's friends, or Micheline, or my parents, and my family. I do what I do because you guys support me, and I have always appreciated that, and I hold that with me everywhere I go. So thank you very much. And this is my diploma, but when I get mine, it's also your guys'. So thank you.
I think it's time for the hat toss.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Or
what I
if you've
thought
got
it
a
was
floor
a
like
game where
Nick,
you
you can
win
just rock.
something.
Oh, Steph, you're so competitive.
But no, we're just too. Oh, I get it.
Do you want me to put this down?
I feel like most people don't use